and thousands of stories, but there's really only two stories. Really. Trying to get to the bottom line, there's only two stories. One in the Old and one in the New Testament. The only story that really matters in the Old Testament is the Exodus, where Moses leads the people. The Ten Commandments are on tonight. You know the story, Yul Brynner, Charlton Heston. That's really the only important Old Testament story. And the only really important New Testament story is the death and resurrection of Jesus. And they're the same story. And that's what's important to understand on Easter Sunday morning. The Exodus, you have to understand there's a difference between an evacuation and an exodus. Hurricane Irma last year, before it was a strike, and they had like 6 days warning, like all of Florida was cramming the highway to try to get out of the way of the hurricane. And the roads aren't meant to take that many people at one time, so they were backed up for miles. That's an evacuation. But those people are going to come back. Hopefully there's something to come back to. The hurricane leaves something behind. But they know they're coming back. The Exodus, The Jews are leaving Egypt, slavery. And they ain't never coming back. Who'd want to go back to slavery? They're not coming back. And neither are we. I don't know what you did for Lent. That's private. And it really doesn't matter. The question that matters is, why did you do what you did for Lent? Whatever you did. And the why is because I know I'm a sinner. Something other than God has been first in my life. Or someone other than God has been first in my life. And I need to change that. Whatever you did was an outward sign of an inward need to get back in good with God. Whatever you did. That's why you did it. And we're not going back. We're not going back. If Good Friday and Easter Sunday have worked for you and are working right now, you can't go back to those sinful ways. We won't do it perfectly, but every year we should take a step to get rid of sin. Flush that down the toilet. That's gone. When the Jews went through the Red Sea, it changed them. We go through a sea of red, the cross, because blood is red. And his body soaked with blood, his hands, the nail prints, the blood flowing out. If we really celebrate that, to really understand what happened on Good Friday, that he shed his blood for me. True story. This happened yesterday. I'm at the drive-thru down at Arby's, down across from the high school, okay? Every girl working at drive-thru knows me personally, okay? Everybody knows me. And so I'm kind of a long, and the girl says, the person in front of you paid for your meal. I do not know who was in front of me. Kind of a long time. Kind of getting aggravated. Long wait to get a stupid roast beef sandwich. And I said, really? And she said, yeah, she paid the price. That's what we're celebrating here today. He died for us. His love should change our... Isn't it true that only love really changes you? That's the only thing that really works. It's like you're watching Julia Roberts and Richard Gere in Pretty Woman, and you think he's changing her from a bad girl to a beautiful woman. No, she's changing him. Her love, which he's never had, changes him from a cranky businessman into a human being. That's what Good Friday does. His love, dying for us, should change us for good. We're not going back. Get rid of sin. Be holy. A little bit holier now than you were Ash Wednesday. Good Friday changes how we live. Easter Sunday changes how we die. See, we make a mistake. We don't understand. This is kind of a deep point, so follow me. People think of the agony in the garden. Jesus laying by a stone, praying, Father, take this cup away. That's getting it wrong. There are two agonies in the garden. The first is in the Garden of Paradise, where man chooses evil. Adam and Eve chose evil over God. The one in agony is God. They chose the devil over me. And so death entered the world. I will die. will. You will too. And I might be the one who buries you. The when and the what, well, those will be determined. But it's how we die. Because the second agony in the garden is not Jesus, it's the devil. Because he realizes, the devil, that Jesus loved us enough to die for us. And the devil knows he's about to lose the battle for good. Now when we die with hope of heaven. I may bury you this year. That big candle will see a lot of funerals. 2 this week already. And the week's young. But we die now. I don't know when. Fate will decide when you and I die. Faith will decide how you and I die. With hope of eternal. That's what today is. It depends how we live. It determines how we die. That's why churches are packed today. Because today touches heaven. There was no hope before Jesus. Now there is. You're here at 7 o'clock in the morning for a reason. That this is the most important day of the year and of your life. Let us stand, my friends, and we'll turn to page 142.